Hello, room. Can y'all hear me? I see some comments in here. I'm not sure what's happening here. All right, the comments are gone. I'm not. There we are. Hey, y'all. This is Greg Allison from Green Greg's Garden and Worm Farm coming to you live. I'm not sure how this screen's looking here. It looks really dim on my side, and it's just not looking right to me for some reason. Please say something. Say if this is looking right. Do I need to rotate my phone? Hi. Hard for me to read here. DJ, peace sign. Anyway, hey, look. Happy New Year, Greg, from Houston. All right. I can't hardly even read the Jan. All right, good. It's hard for me to read stuff. Is this all looking good? This is only my second live stream. So, Happy New Year. Happy New Decade. Thank you, everyone. Looking good, I'm seeing. All right, good. Now we're getting some comments. A lot of people coming in here. 55 looks like. Awesome. 7 likes already. Well, guys, Happy New Year. Happy New Decade. This is a new beginning. Hopefully this decade will be a lot better than some previous decades. We have a lot of challenges in front of us, but the good news is that the siege at the embassy, U.S. Embassy in Baghdad, Iraq is over. The militants who had stormed the compound have left. They have went back to the other side of the Tigris River. Apparently they're still together. Yeah, well, I tell you what, I'm having a hard time reading this screen. Some of these guys, okay, let's see. For some reason, the names are really dimmer on here, so I'm having a hard time. I'm out here in the daylight, so it makes it harder to see. So my apologies if I can't get all your names here. I'm trying to hold my hand over just to see it. It's really dim. And the sun's behind me, so I guess that makes it worse. Maybe if I turn around this way, I can see a little better. Oh, that helps some, but not a great amount. Anyway, my apologies. I'm still a novice at these live streams. I've done one, and I deleted it because it wasn't done all that well, and I discovered I was essentially trespassing, which I didn't know at the time, with the Rex Bear up in Devil's Gate Dam. In any event, yeah, we didn't see the no trespassing sign until we left the place, and it's like, oh my gosh, no. So what's happened is that the protesters left. We had sent 100 more Marines in the place. Tear gas was fired upon them. They were taking a lot of heat from our side, and they evacuated the compound, like I said, and moved across the Tigris River. And in so doing, they, of course, they declared victory and left on their side. One of the guys said, after achieving the intended aim, we pulled out of this place triumphantly. Yeah, really? Well, supposedly some claim they were there to send a message. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is that the root tensions, the root causes that went into all this are still there. I mean, the fact is that these militias were attacking Iraqi bases and U.S. forces on these bases. They were doing things, and of course we got an American contractor that is no longer with us as a result of that. Several American soldiers wounded. 4 is the cited number, so it's not a pretty picture. What we do know is that Trump last night promised and Melania looked gorgeous. Hey, Billy, I got that one. I see that one clear. So the tensions are still there, my friends. If they continue these strikes, it's going to be a rough situation. What was interesting is that when they went into their overnight siege mode, they set up like 50 tents there to compound, something like that. They even had cooks with aprons. They had huge pots they were cooking out of. There was a cleric walking around blasting with a megahorn, reading from their Quran. So there was a lot of that going on. But that part of this phase is over. Trump did promise that the Iranians would pay a very big price for what happened. I see maybe the magnetic pole will shift to Iran. Yeah, that would be a rough day. Now, you know what? There are a lot of good people in Iran. There's a lot of great people in Iran. There's some really nice people there, and the bulk of Iranians would like to live pretty much like us in a Western-style society. That's not what they're given. So there's a lot of people there who are living under conditions that they don't desire, and they would rather do otherwise. Now, they do follow the Quran. They follow a different religion, but that doesn't mean that they couldn't get along with us peacefully if some of these other things were, hey, Tennessee there. Yeah. And here somebody said he lived 50 years in Tennessee. Green. All right. 323 green or 333 green. Hard for me to see the screen. Green. I see some of these comments. What is this? Do you see a war starting soon? I think that is a high potential. Just given the tensions that we're having with Iran, the fact they're ratcheting it up. Some of the analysts are suggesting that, we beat ISIS and we should get out of Iran simply because we have beat ISIS. Hello, Virginia. God bless you there in Virginia. That's a rough place to be right now with all the things going on. Kentucky here, 22-year-old buck from Tennessee. And that is, who is that? Let's see if I can get the names come back. It was fading out of me. Trisha. I don't know. It's hard for me to read. All right. Michigan here. I am from Texas, says 333 green. Okay, I got you wrong. My bad. Afternoon from Texas. Thank you. Thank you. Minnesota, Oklahoma. Awesome. God bless. Happy New Year from Texas. I've got a daughter in Houston. Daughter and son-in-law and 2 beautiful grandkids, by the way. North Dakota. Nice place. Been there. Afternoon from Northwest Indiana. Been there too. And that is, what does it say? Cynthia. Cynthia, I'm having a hard time reading these names. Cynthia, does it say Nixon, I believe? Anyway, if I get your name wrong, my bad, because I'm having a hard time seeing my screen out here. London, awesome. Awesome. Got London here from, looks like it says, I don't quite get your name. It's hard for me to read the names. They're dimmer than the San Francisco, Tennessee, Nebraska, Manchester, England. Hey, all right. I lived in a town called New Manchester once. Montgomery, now from Nashville. All right, all right. Awesome, awesome. Trisha Atkinson, I believe. And Hillary. Hey, dig the channel. Thank you, Hillary. If I'm reading it right. Bill, Texas too, Oregon. Yeah, we got people from all over the place. How many people got here? Wow, 125 people. Well, I'm excited because this is the first live chat I've done just with myself. It's the second one I've done. The first one I kind of botched it a little bit. So anyway, back to what I'm talking about here. The U.S. is sending more troops. There's 650 paratroopers on the way there. They're talking about sending another, get this, 4,000 troops in there. But we already have about 14,000 in the Mideast that we put there since May. We're building up to something. 5,200 of them are in Iraq. So kind of what went on here is that when ISIS was trying to take over, that was basically a Sunni Muslim group. And they were trying to take over Syria and take over Iraq, and they were moving strong at first, and Iran went in and mobilized tens of thousands of militiamen there in Iraq to fight ISIS. So they got a lot of cred, steep cred for having to do that there in Iraq. Hey, somebody said they got worms. Let's see. Me and my 2,300 worms are doing great here in Houston. All right. Jan, awesome, cool. Hey, I do sell worms, guys. Ozarks. Hey, that would be a great place to be. Awesome. Flat Rock, Alabama. Philip Elkins. All right. Hey, there's a couple of people on my channel from Flat Rock. Awesome. Cool. Flat Rock's a popular place here. I was wondering if they actually help us, said Cynthia Nixon. Are you talking about Iraq? No, they're not there. Iran, they're not there to help us. Iran is there for their own agenda of expansionism in the area. Iran is an interesting country. They very, very smart, intelligent people. We tend to think we're the smartest people in the world. I know a lot of highly intelligent Iranians. I mean, they'd blow your socks at how smart they are. Look, these guys are building nukes. They got a nuke power plant. They launch satellites. I mean, guys, the Iranians are smart. And that doesn't mean it's good or bad. I'm just telling you they're smart. So don't sell them short. And 20 minutes down the road, LOL, Joseph Knack. Okay. Desert Rose. Hi, Desert Rose. Yeah, maybe we'll meet again at a LeakCon or somewhere. Desert Rose is a real sweet lady. I think the world of her. She's real nice, real sweet. Everyone say hi to Desert Rose. So anyway, so what we're talking about here is the militia groups got their start that way in Iraq. They were started by Iran fighting ISIS, and now they are they're still there, and they're there now serving the agenda of Iran which doesn't serve the agenda of the United States. I mean, the reason the United States sponsored Saddam Hussein originally was he was seen as a bulwark against Iran. And at one time, we played both sides against each other because we didn't want either one to have an upper hand in the area, neither Iraq with an upper hand or Iran. So I don't know if we ever really had a favorite man. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Simply meaning outdoorsman. All right. Hey, I'm doing great right now. So a lot of our analysts think it's a folly that we have troops there at all now that ISIS is defeated. And so that's a good question. You send me a link to it. Guys, that's a good question. Should we be there at all? Why are we there? What interest do we really have in the Mideast other than securing oil, petroleum, but we're now producing our own? Is it really worth it? Should we be there? Should we get out entirely? You got to remember this compound in Baghdad used to be the primary presidential palace of Saddam Hussein on the Tigris River. You're the top man. Well, thank you. That is where we built our embassy, the Green Zone. And it is the most heavily fortified embassy we probably have. We put billions of dollars in that place. Maybe we can help influence Iraq by being there, but is it really worth it? Is it worth the risk? Is it worth what we're getting ourselves into? Why are we there? To defend Israel? Should we be there to defend Israel? Can Israel defend? Israel's got a lot of nukes. Why can't they defend themselves? Why are we there ultimately? I think that's a good question. Thumbs up, Atlanta. Oh, thank you, Atlanta. I'm reading this right. Yeah, let me turn around here when I see the screen this way. All right, you can see I've got a, oh, I still can't read it. Desert Rose. I can read it because your name's wrong. Hey, if your name's wrong caps, it's easier for me to see. She says, I have to leave, but that's just me. Oh, I say we leave. Okay, good. Can't defend it. Let's see. Illinois can't defend itself for once. I'm not sure I'm following you there, Melanie. IL can defend itself, or Israel, I think is what you're saying, say, right? Or okay. It all goes back to gold. Well, in this case, the gold is the hi Shannon, hugs for you too. So I'm sure in this case it's a hello from Mars. Wow. The great Gazzo. Hello from Mars. Yes, leave, not our problem. Yeah, I'm kind of there, guys. Gas has gone up. Yeah, went up 35 cents in my area too. Amen. All the tension there puts gas prices up. So how is that service? Get out of there. Get out or we'll be there forever. Yeah, it's really hard to see what purpose we're serving there. It's really hard to see why we want to put our troops at risk. It's hard to see why we spend so much money. It's even harder to see why we put ourselves at risk to such a military confrontation as could arise in the Mideast. It could really just pull us in because Iran is also allied with Russia and China. Russia is making a lot of money selling those nuclear plants to Iran. Dang, a live stream got to be serious. Well, yeah, I need to do more live streams. So, pardon me for not. I've just been a bit of a novice at it. And so, what are we going to do there? What really bothers me, and I've said this on this channel several times, is that Iran has the capacity through their sleeper cells and perhaps even from the weapons they've developed to take down our power grid. Gold is overrated hype. Yeah, you can't eat it, that's for sure, Wolfgang. Desert Rose. My son was there in the Army, said it is not our place to be there. Hey, I was in the Army too, and I almost got sent to Iran during the Iranian hostage crisis. We were all boxed up and ready to go. It was at Fort Bragg. We had all our stuff at the airfield, at the Pope Air Force Base, and they told me I was going. And then the hype built, I lived off base. I had a family, but I was sequestered on base. I couldn't leave. I slept in my arms room, which I had at the time. And I was told that that I was going. They had me bleeding. Every day the tension got higher and higher. One day they said, go home, Greg. I thought, what? You just said I was going to Iran. And so I went home, I laid in bed, and I was half asleep. And I hear this stuff coming over the radio. My wife was cooking, and I was married at the time, wife one. And I heard all this stuff about a plane crashing, Iranians being captured, a busload of them being captured, and people getting killed, and all kind of stuff. And I go, what's going on? I bolted out of bed, and I thought my phone was going to ring any minute to say, we're at war, get your in here. And then I got listened to what it was, and I thought, dang, really? That's stupid. Because the whole operation basically failed for things like a lack of spare parts and poor command between all the different players that were sent there. But we had helicopters and tanks that wouldn't run and operate because they didn't have the spare parts to operate them. I know what that means because I was an armor for a company of 250 people. We only had 200 M16s, and only about 25 of them would actually function because I couldn't get little penny detention pins and extractor springs to they have an ejector that goes on the bolt of these rifles, and you got to have a little spring to make that ejector pop the shell out, and you got to have an extractor to pull it out. And these things were like a bucket of them, might have been a nickel back in the day, and I couldn't get them, just couldn't get them. I couldn't get spare parts. That was Jimmy Carter's army, and it was a rag bag army at first, so it's squared away later, but it was not a good thing. Oh no, retracts marriage offer. Did I offer marriage to somebody on here? I don't recall that, but hey, I think we'd have to date a little bit before I can do that. Do you carry a gun, Greg? Well, yes, I have a license, but I can't carry it to work because it's a military base that I work on. You can't carry arms on a military base. Can you believe that? That's why the shootings occur in places like that. Why do you think they have shootings on military bases? Of course, because you can't carry an arm. These cowards that do these shootings only go to places where they think people are unarmed, like a church. But they got surprised recently because this church had somebody there with a gun who dispatched the guy pretty quickly, like in 7 seconds. Let's see you defend yourself in 7 seconds without some other means, my friends. All these people want to take up our means of self-defense. Say, oh, you got to call the cops. Call the cops and see how long it is before they come to your house. See how long it is before they beat your door down or beat on your door. Anybody that's going to come after you is going to be long gone. They're going to come in and do what they're going to do, and they're going to be in and out. They're going to be gone before then. Redstone, yes, Redstone Arsenal. That's where I'm at. You got it. NASA, the Marshall Space Flight Center where I work, is located on Redstone Arsenal. So, hello, so true. Not only one guy in the church with a gun, 8 of them, yes. Yeah, there's a place in Kennesaw, Georgia where they opened a bank and a gun store. That's a pretty smart move, right? Do you think that bank ever got robbed? I don't think no one would ever think twice about robbing that bank. Where are you from, Greg? Alabama. I grew up on Sand Mountain. Went to high school in Albertville. I lived in a place, if you could draw a triangle between these little towns of Albertville, Boaz, and Douglas and put a pin right in the middle, that's where the farm was I grew up on. No guns on a military base? That doesn't even make sense on my level. You're right. What sense does that make? Oh, we're on military base. We can't have guns. Well, that was certain policies that, against having guns on federal facilities. But yeah, the one place you'd think you could have a gun. But look, all the mass shootings, desert roads. Yes, thank you, Alabama. Peace. So, I have to swipe my screen to see the text here, what you guys are telling me. So, yeah, it doesn't make sense really that we have our troops over here, in my opinion. I think we're putting our whole nation at risk. We're putting our nation at risk. If we do hit Iran real hard, they're going to respond, and they've already said that they would take out 20 power substations that they've already targeted, and we know that there's 9 critical ones they've taken out that would totally do in our grid. So, doing in our grid is destruction to the United States, my friends. You know, the EMP task force said 9 out of 10 would be dead in a year. But I'm telling you, they did not factor in the fact that most farmers aren't growing their own food, that that there's these spent fuel rod pools that we've got to be worried about at our nuclear power plants. And there are also, apparently there's some other groups that have published times of like a month. How long could we survive without the power grid? Some groups are saying that, these are federal emergency management groups, are saying that like a month would be 9 out of 10 gone. I mean, think about it, food supplies. The grocery stores will be out of food in a matter of a day or 2 or 3. They've really got about a day's supply. They keep everything running. Everything's just in time these days. There's no storerooms. Trucks won't roll. You can't pump fuel. You're not going to have power to heat and cool your house. water's going to quit flowing. You can only survive 3 days without water. People will be drinking dirty, contaminated water. I did a video right out here on the other side of my greenhouse about how to purify and sanitize water. Time to bring home our nation's military. Amen. So, but Iran ain't got no MP, and we what was my reading here? And don't we got a bunch of generation backups? No, not sufficiently, Wolfgang. I'm gonna tell you, the power grid goes down. It's going down. We don't have enough generators, and if you did, generators got to get fuel. You got to pump it, my friend. You got to pump that fuel to make it flow. Where are you gonna get all the fuel from? No, the power grid goes down. We're in a pickle. We don't have adequate backup. We've really been looking at this. That's why we need our EMA guys in all the states to practice this. Supply yourself with all your needs and prep. Yes, that's right. Happy 2020. Everyone, yes, happy 2020. No power equals no people. You're right, Billy. America would defend, defo, be finished if we got hit by an EMP. Well, what I'm telling you is that Iran is probably really close to being able to have a nuclear capability. They already have a launch capability because they can launch a satellite for a fractional orbital bombardment. That is sufficient. A small satellite with a small nuke would definitely do the job. But small nukes are more effective at EMP because less material means less shielding for the gamma rays, and it's a gamma ray production device that generates the EMP. So an EMP is one way to do it, but it's not the only way, and there's several ways to take the grid down. Watch my video about the consequences, or not consequences, yeah, you need to see that one, but look at the root cause video that I put up there. What are the causes and bring the grid down? I'm telling you, guys with machine guns could go in and take out a few AK-47s and take out the right power substations, and it's all over, my friends. These power transformers weigh 200 to 400 tons each. If you ordered them, providing that you have a logistics system to enable you to order them, which means a network, internet, computers, and that the fuel was still flowing, all these things could move, and you still had a workforce to install them. It takes 18 months from the time you order to get it on the dock. Then you got to install it. So grid goes down, we need an army to keep it cool. Yeah, you do for the nuke power plants, absolutely, Cynthia Nixon. That's what we need. Greenhouse Greg's does a worm bed put out any heat? Would having them in a greenhouse provide extra heat in the winter? Yes, I did a video on keeping worms warm in the winter, and I mentioned a greenhouse, and you can see behind me, there is my greenhouse right there. But I don't keep worms in there because my worms are pretty hardy and survive well outside because I raise red worms. They're a very hardy worm, but I've got quite a detail on my videos about keeping worms warm in the winter. The bedding, you don't want a hot compost bedding, but any compost has some biological activity, and that's why if you got about a cubic yard of bedding, the worms will be good in most places. But way up north, you really want an in-ground bed or bring them indoors to a greenhouse or a basement or something like that. 12-volt fans, that'll help. Do you see Cascadia going this year? Yeah, there's a lot of activity off the west coast up here in the Cascadia region. So there's a high probability for it to go this year. I'm going to say it will, but the longer it waits, it's just like the more tension builds up. The more tension that builds up, the worse it's going to be when it does go off, because these rocks are stuck. They're being forced. The plates are moving, and it's just ratcheting up the tension. Every year it ratchets up higher and higher. How long will it be before it snaps? The longer that tension builds up, the worse the snap is going to be when those plates break loose. What you've got is a subduction zone, where you've got a plate in the ocean being subducted underneath the continental shelf. And that's the Juan de Fuca plate there, I do believe. So that plate is being sucked under the continent because the continent is riding up over it. So there's a high chance. There's a lot of activity going on there. It could be that means that it's all about to break loose. Is that a fact? I can't tell you it's a fact, but what I can tell you is the probability is going up. Well, the probability will go up every year, but that activity may be an indicator. So I'd definitely be concerned. I would not want to be living right there on the west coast. 12-volt LED lights. There you go, 9-volt battery. Come on, people, grid goes down. If we can't keep it cool, most of us will die anyway. You're right, Cynthia Nixon. That's one reason that some of us are forming groups, and we're looking at contingencies for how to keep those reactor pools, not the reactor pools, but the spent fuel rod pools cool. They can inject enough boron in those reactors the reactor won't be useful after that. I think in Fukushima they didn't do that. I guess they had some fantasy that they didn't want to damage the reactors. Well, look what happened. The reactors all blew anyway. So you need to inject the boron in there to stop the neutron flow. Once you've done that, the reactor is probably safe. It's the spent fuel rod pulls that I worry about the most. How about Yellowstone volcano? Well, hello, Lynn. Hello. CNYC here. Yellowstone, illegal only if you get caught. Oh, I don't know what that conversation was. Learn to grow microgreens. Exactly. Yes, learn to grow microgreens. Yellowstone. Yellowstone could go. We know that. I did a video when they talked about how hot the rivers get there. And I said, my mind is blown by Yellowstone. You know, you look through my videos. I had a good thumbnail on that one. My friends, Yellowstone's overdue. Yellowstone blows about every 600,000 years. It's only 40,000 years overdue to blow. So it could blow any time between the next second and another 40,000, 100,000 years. I don't know. But it's definitely getting hot there. The heat's ratcheting up. Magma's on the move. It seems to be heading up. Does that mean it's going to blow? No, it don't directly mean it's going to blow. Some people suggested that magma was higher there back in the Ice Age. Now, I don't know what that's based on, if it's true or not. I see some people out there who saying it's on the verge of blowing, and others say don't worry about it. And some of them are credible on either side. I would not want to be living within 600 miles of Yellowstone. And you got Valor's called there in Long Valley. Long Valley there in California. Some people think it's more likely to go. Yellowstone really ain't nothing we can do about it. There's nothing we can do about it much other than don't live there. If it does go, it could be very catastrophic. Some people say it doesn't have the same amount of sulfur dioxide as some of the Indonesian and other volcanoes. If that's true, it may not produce as much volcanic winter as some expect. But then again, I don't know. My cousin is 82nd Airborne. He's going. Yeah, I heard 650 paratroopers on the way. I was expecting it would probably be 82nd Airborne. I wasn't in the 82nd, but I was in the 426 Signal Battalion, which was right next to the Green Beret headquarters there at Fort Bragg. And it was on Ardeen Street, I believe was the name of it. And we trained on the same training grounds that the Green Berets trained on. Mary Greeley is a good one to watch. Yeah, she puts out a lot of information. I've watched her. Happy New Year. Greg says Joe's Auto Parts. Hey, Joe. Joe's Auto Parts. Awesome. Reported by the Marine Corps Times. Greg, you hit the nail on the head with your bugs disappearing theory. Hey, I never washed bugs off my windshield all summer. The first time ever. That really just knocked my socks off. I mean, usually I got to wash bugs off my windshield every twice a week. Until this past summer, and I didn't do it all summer long. That was odd. That was really scary to me. And then I got noticing the big lights. You know, you used to see bugs just swarming around them, and I would just put the camera on those lights, and there was nothing there. Less dangerous to live within 600 miles of Yellowstone versus living within 60 miles of Memphis. You got a point there. The bug thing is a sign. Yes, it's Cynthia, it's like a canary in a coal mine. That's what I'm worried about. Thanks for your service. Yeah, well, thank you. And Dusty Digger, yes, it is. The music whale. I get that, but it's an unconstitutional law at Bill Cook. I don't know what law you're talking about. A lot of laws are unconstitutional. Kentucky definitely had bugs this past summer. Well, I'm glad they're not going everywhere, but it probably going to happen everywhere all at once. Is it a cause of Earth's rotation? Well, I don't know what you're asking about there, Cynthia. I think 2020 marks in. Let's hope not. Folks, get to Virginia on January the 30th. Our Constitution is being stripped. Yeah, I hear there's some Constitution Day. Is it the 30th of January? I thought it was the 20th. Are you sure about that? What's the Constitution Day there in Virginia? Can't store water in Oregon. Wow! Are you kidding me? They won't let you store water. Is it illegal? Jan 20th, fat fingers. Okay, that's what I thought, Dusty Digger. 20th of January, people. Constitution Day in Virginia. Yeah, aren't we all Virginians? So, yeah, scary thing. Where am I in Kentucky? We didn't have nothing, no bugs and birds. Oh, no black walnuts and no blackberries. Shannon, that's scary. I know exactly where I've been there. Thank you, Shannon, for adding that. Yeah, that's really scary. See, we lose the insects, we lose the pollinators, we lose food, people. This is not trivial. And the birds that we all enjoy, the songbirds that we all so much enjoy, that makes it such a joy to walk out in the woods, they got to have bugs to eat. What are they going to do when they don't have something to eat, guys? They're not going to be here. Yeah, Desert Roads, dusty yikes to two of us. Rally on Richmond, says Dusty. No blackberries here. Wow, I did have blackberries, but may not next year. I don't know. We have honeybees and native bees and pollinators here in Middle Tennessee, and the birds still seem to be doing well, but I've been here for years. Yeah, it starts in places, and maybe it spreads. I don't know. The year before, we had plenty of bugs here. I mean, plenty of them, plenty. Then all of a sudden, one year, none. I've never seen anything like it, guys. This is my 59th year. Of course, I did live in Alaska a few years, and that was quite different. You didn't have the bugs up there that we have here, but you also didn't have as much wild fruit. Although there were blueberries that would grow in the tundra, they would grow in bushes that were about yay high, and so you'd have to reach down in the ground to harvest them. It was kind of interesting. So sad. Let's see. I see no birds, but like that. Yeah, they say we're losing birds everywhere. So where's our blue kachina, Billy? What's the blue kachina? Is it going to be a comment or something? Simply living the way go. Let's see. Simply living is the way to go. Yes, you're right. Hemp is better conductor than lithium. Can you make batteries out of it? Lithium-ion batteries are little bombs, by the way. Birds died in the UK, says Neil. Well, the birds probably don't have anything to eat, probably being poisoned. I watched that video you made about bugs, scary stuff. Right. Lots of blackberries, says Corey McNaughton. But yeah, you know, my dad's place didn't make any, he didn't make any pecans this year. He's always gave me bags of pecan every year. My dad will be 99 in April. He did fall recently, and he's in rehab right now. But otherwise, he seems to be doing well. He's not been too hip on the idea of doing videos lately. I know everybody wanted to see him some more. But I do have some videos of my dad. Look down through my, go to my channel, click on videos, and just look down and see what's there. You'll see all my videos. All you have to do is click on that tab that says videos, because they're not all on the playlist. I need to update my playlist because I don't have enough playlists on this channel. And also my Galactic Greg's channel, I think I only got one playlist, maybe two on there. And I really need to work on that. But it just takes time to go in and organize all that stuff. Well, thank you, Robert. Say my dad's a cool guy. You can't argue. You can't argue your point. Okay, got it. Ways your dad's tick. Yeah, trick. So my dad's real strong. Let's see. Wall pattern on robotic bees. Patent on robotic bees. See, robotic bees will never do what organic bees could do. I guarantee you that. Thank you for waking people up. Well, thank you, tinfoil. And I do have a tinfoil hat. In fact, I wore it on a video I did last night with Galactic Greg's, because I sat in front of that case with all those rocket parts, and it just fit. It looked good there, right? Oh, heck no, says Tricia Atkinson. I miss my dad so much, says Susan. Well, bless your heart, Susan. You still have them in your heart. No bees in Moody, Alabama. That's scary. A comet coming will appear blue. Oh, comet coming will appear blue in the sky next year. Adapt 2030 had an, oh, Billy, is that the blue kachina? Maybe. Robotic bees, yeah. I agree with you there. That is funny. I don't see robotic bees being able to keep up at all with the real organic bee. Greg, do you have a backup channel? Sorry, I'm at work and I can't keep up well. Also, your email to us to contact me. Let's see what. Yeah, I've got another channel. It's not a backup channel. It's just a different channel, different topic. I discovered on this channel that my topics are probably too broad, because every time I post a video, so people that join from one set of topics will unsubscribe because I'm covering a slightly different set of topics, like between prepping and gardening, worm farming, microgreens, aquaponics. These are all different topic areas. There are channels that are dedicated solely to any one of those topics. I'm finding that if I post something on particular microgreens or aquaponics, I lose a lot of subscribers. Probably more of my prep type subscribers. But look, guys, it all goes together. It really does. You need to know all these things to survive, thrive, and stay out of the hive, is which I always tell you. And so many of my videos I post are here solely to tell you to keep your eyes wide open and head on a swivel, right? Worm farms, yeah, good, awesome. Bugs are down. They are down, people. That's something that we need to be aware of. This is why you really do need to store food. I'm really expecting food prices to go up because we are losing bugs because the climate is getting really wonky on us. It's going to be really hard to grow food. And right now, the food prices haven't yet really started to accelerate. It's still a good time to buy. Also, heirloom seeds. So if you want heirloom seeds, do check my links below. I haven't posted them yet, but I will post them. Look on my other videos. Check the links below to heirloom seeds that I have with True Leaf Market. True Leaf Market's a great supply for microgreen supplies. Check out my Patriot Supply. That's a good place to get all your prepping needs. They got all kind of prepping supplies. They've got the long-term food storage. Look, you buy a year's worth, that's about $2 a meal. You can't beat that in terms of meal price. And let's see, somebody here said, I know I work at school and we cannot carry on site. Exactly. Guys, when I went to school, we carried guns to school. I mean, all the guys had a shotgun or a rifle in the back window of their pickup trucks. And I even took a muzzleloader to school and had a cap and ball revolver strapped down to my leg. It was a dress-up day. And I walked around through school with this cap and ball revolver strapped to my leg and it was loaded too, by the way. And they didn't have the caps on the nipples on the chambers, though. But the capper was in my pocket. I had a muzzle-loading rifle. Was I going to shoot anybody? Heck no, I wasn't going to shoot anybody. That's ridiculous. But, that's just the way it was in the day. I mean, if somebody had tried something crazy back in those days, they wouldn't have gotten far, I guarantee you. But the schools, shooting a school up today is like shooting fish in a barrel. Nobody can defend themselves. That's why they're attacked. That's why the cowards that attack places where you're not enabled to carry things. Do you think these cowards are going to pay attention to the laws that get passed, telling them you can't have this, you can't do that? They're already breaking the law. They're already criminals. They're already lawbreakers. They don't care. So why is it that only the good people are forced to not defend themselves? Why is that? That is ridiculous, and it's unconstitutional, my friends. Very unconstitutional. I expect this video will be demonetized. My Iraqi video was demonetized. The last one I posted on the siege. I've appealed it. Maybe they'll see better because I'm not advocating violence in any way. I don't dare here. I'm not advocating any kind of racism. I'm not trying to put anybody down or humiliate anybody. I tell everybody there's good people anywhere you go, and that's the truth. There really are. It's the organizations that run us that aren't good. It's these organizations that put us in a pickle. But these organizations are also things like we refer to like as the deep state. We have it too here. And they don't like you to shine a light on them. And a lot of our organizations of influence in this country are connected to them. And they don't like it when we talk about them. Truly, all right. So, hey, Dusty, thank you, Dusty Digger. Let's see if my text is going right here. Another decade, more troops shipping off the Mideast. That's true. Seat company might be True Leaf Supply. Yeah, look, there's links in most all my videos to True Leaf Market and my Patriot Supply. I haven't put the links here because I'm doing this live. It may be a bit. I've got some other things to do. I got work to do out here. So, and I got to get with it. We're still in the short days right now. The sun's going fast here. So, with that, we're going to have to end this video. Thank you, Hillary. Appreciate it. Noah's Hyde law scares the crap out of me. There's a lot of laws out there that scare the crap out of me. Dig them worms, Greg. Yes, sir. That's what I got to get to, AJ. I got to take care of the worms, the rabbits, and the fish, and so many other things here. A lot of work to do, a lot of work. I'm a busy, busy puppy. But I did want to do a video. You didn't answer shows on Dad living so long. Oh, look, guys. My dad grew up. You know what my dad always tells everybody? He said, hard work never killed no one. My dad's always been a hard worker. So I think that, his determination, his stubbornness, is what's kept him going. I think that, and look, he ate meat. Well, didn't eat much when he was a kid, but ever since in his adult days, he made up for it. Some people say, eating beef kill you. And it killed my dad. My dad's biggest problem is leukemia. He's had to fight that for the last 10 years, but he's done pretty well at it. But that's because he would play with electric circuits a lot. I've seen my dad standing in water in a well splicing the 220 live and just splicing the wires together with his fingers. That's crazy. He got too much current. He couldn't wear a watch because his bones were too magnetized. So, but he's made it. Thank you, sir, for your service. Well, thank you. I have to get horses and hope yeah. Horses might be a good thing. Thanks for the answer. And my dad also grew a garden every year. He grew a garden, my friends. He ate from his garden. He grew big gardens. I remember one year my dad had a 7-acre garden. I mean, he was giving stuff away to everyone. And he just grew so much stuff. He wasn't selling it. He just liked growing a garden. He loved it. He'd grow so much stuff he couldn't possibly eat it all, but he just loved doing it. My dad liked working, and he liked growing a garden, and he ate stuff from his garden. And so when I tell you the garden, you know, there are reasons for it. You're buying trash when you go to the stores. There's no nutritional value in the vegetables they grow. Those are only fertilized with NPK. They don't put rock dust and trees pull deep from the soil. They get the minerals that are not replenished today in gardens. So if you grow with leaves or wood chips, you're getting those minerals. If you use rock dust, you're getting those minerals. That's what you got to have. To have the micronutrients, you have to have the minerals. They're only using the highest level macronutrients required just to make a plant grow, but it's not a nutritious plant. They don't have the taste, the nutrition. You're missing that in what we get today. That's why you need a garden. That's why you need to watch my videos on gardening. And, you know, I don't do a whole lot of them, but the ones I do, I try to show you how to prep the garden. Maybe I don't need to do that anymore because it makes for a long video. But, my friends, you've seen them. You've seen the videos that I put out there. And I'm growing stuff right now. It's winter here. And I've seen videos where people say stuff will not grow in the wintertime. Absolutely will not grow because there's not enough sunlight. And they claim that the only way to grow in the winter is that you can just maintain the plant in the wintertime. You can get it started in the fall and maintain it through the winter, and then it will start back in the spring. Well, friends, I got to show you something. My garlic grows in the wintertime. Y'all saw my video where I planted this stuff? Give you an idea how big it is. Here's my hand. This stuff is growing. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So yes, the garlic grows. Some people love my detailed videos. Yeah, some of you do. My most faithful followers do, and I appreciate that you love them. A lot of people don't, and that's a problem. So yeah, this place is a mess here. I got wood piles and windows and doors piled for future projects to build greenhouses. There's a pile of lumber. These logs that I built these raised beds with came from when this was a wooded area here. I needed more growing area. My front yard was too shaded, too shadowed. I had to open it up some. So unfortunately, I didn't have a YouTube channel when I built all that. Maybe I'll go back and do a PowerPoint presentation showing pictures and maybe some of the many short segments of video that I recorded at the time. And we got an airplane flying over. So fortunately, the neighbor's dog ain't barking and nobody's shooting right now. I guess they got all their shooting in last night. There was quite a bit around midnight. A lot of shooting going on around here. This area is highly fortified with arms. All right, so what we got here? We can only simply, if you want to be a better place. Hey, talk about living simply. See my videos on the DeVace family, 2 of them. Those are wonderful people. I love them. Thank you so much for doing this channel. Well, thank you, Colleen. Our garlic and horseradish are putting on lots of new growth. Yes, they do. Thank you from North Missouri, and Happy New Year. English walled gardens and greenhouses. Absolutely. Look, you know, the English and the French had the idea in the time of bad climate. They built walls and grew their gardens within these walls, rock walls. Those walls did 2 things. They established thermal mass. They heated up from the sun in the daytime. They radiated that heat at night, and they blocked off the wind. Those microclimates made great growing in a grand solar minimum. Now, they're not the most efficient way in warmer times when you want to run your equipment across large beds, but it worked great. And you could even put a top over them if you wanted to for a greenhouse now. So your videos are always on point at Green Greg's. Well, thank you, the music will. Thanks for waking people up. And several thank yous. Several enjoy your Greg for president 2020. Well, thank you, Skunk Oil. Mandatory vaccines and we'll see how this goes. Yeah, I'm not for that, my friends. I built a greenhouse with old storm windows. Yes, you can. Where will the turmeric roots grow? Well, I'm in zone 7 here. If you're in zone 7, you can grow them much farther north. You probably want a greenhouse. Grillo, that's perfect. 2020, yeah. 2020 is the year. 2020 vision. 2020 year from Brother Greg from Quebec. Awesome, Quebec. This is cool and happy. Well, thank you. Thank you. A lot of things have been all kind of accolades here. Well, thank you, Joe. David Watt says, wishing you a salubrious next turn around the sun, Greg. Wow. So y'all want me to run for president there, Mr. SKA Punkle? Excuse me, I said it wrong. Green Greg's, Happy New Year. Hey, guys, I really appreciate y'all. Y'all are a great audience. I really appreciate y'all. I get great comments. I wish I had more time to address the comments. I got things to go do here, so I'm going to have to roll. My daughter's texting me also. I put out to her possibly going to see my dad. He lives about 70 miles from here. Yeah, so look, guys, here's what I'm going to say for 2020 and the 2020s. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. But to prepare, you have to be aware. That's why I do these videos. You got to keep your eyes wide open and head on a swivel, because you don't know what's going to come at you. You don't know from where it's coming. There's certainly a lot of challenges before us. I really do hope that we can get through these times and see prosperity. I'll have to do some other videos to come, because there may be some things that we might not be able to avoid, like a Cascadia earthquake, a Yellowstone activity, a common impact. There may be things that are unavoidable, but we may still be able to prepare and position ourselves for them. And then there's the theories that relate to super flares, micronovas, and jerks in Earth's rotation, and what that might mean for continental tidal waves. There's some scary ideas out there. We'll have to talk about those at some point in the future. Maybe do a wild cards video. I don't know if I'll do that live. So everybody, let me know how you felt about this live session. I hope you enjoyed it. This is my first full-blown live session by myself. Like I said, I did one with Rex, and I deleted it because I really botched the video, and I discovered, I really probably didn't want that video up anyway. But we had a lot of fun. We did have a lot of fun in LA. So, guys, thank you. Thank you, one and all. And let me see if I can figure out how to end this session. Anyway, guys, I love all you. You're great. You're wonderful. And there's no option for me to put a thumbs up on you, but you get a big thumbs up from me. You're a great audience. So let me see how to end this. Anyway, thank you, everyone. Have a great, great, great week, and a very, very, very happy new year and a happy new decade. So let me see what ends this. Bye.